Hi there, welcome back to English with Prashant. In previous video we learned present and its 4 types of tenses. If you haven't watched that video, the link has been given in the description down below. And in this video we are going to cover past and its 4 types. So let's begin with past simple. We use past simple for the actions that happened in past. यानी हम past simple उन actions के लिए use करते हैं जो past में हुए हैं. We make past simple with a subject and a second form of the verb. As in the first example it says I went to the library yesterday. यानी इसका मतलब ये है कि कल past में ये action हुआ, कल मैं library गया. Next example, Yuvraj Singh hit 6 sixes in an over. It is a statement that simply tells that this happened in past. Next examples, Lucy invited them for her wedding and Thomas Edison invented light bulb. All of these sentences simply tells that these actions happened in past, and all of these sentences have a second form of the verb. Now let's understand its structures. For positive sentences we use a second form of the verb, as you already know. But if you talk about negative and interrogative sentences, you have to use did as a helping verb in the sentences. Negative sentences will be framed as I did not work, you did not work, etc. And for interrogative, you have to bring your first helping verb outside, and that is did. So in these sentences, you will bring did before the subject. Interrogative sentences will be framed as did I work, did you work, etc. Here the only thing you need to remember is that the word did is a second form of do. यानी जो did word है वो do की second form है. यानी अगर आप sentences के अंदर did लिख चुके हैं तो आपको अपनी main verb के अंदर changes करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, उसको second form बनाने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. अगर did लिख चुके हैं तो दोबारा से उसके साथ second form लिखने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. Let me give you an example. Here are 2 sentences on your screen. The first is he does not writes and the second is he did not wrote. Both of these sentences have same errors. If you have added S with do, you don't need to add S with write. Similarly, if you have used did, which is a second form, you don't need to use the second form of the word write. Now let's move to past continuous tense. We use past continuous tense for the actions that were happening in past. यानी हम past continuous उन actions के लिए use करते हैं जो past में continue कर रहे थे. We make past continuous tense with a subject plus was or were plus V1 plus ing. Here is an example. They were eating when I saw them. It is a sentence. It simply means when I saw them, something was going on, something was continuing. They were eating. Next example, I was watching a horror movie at night. It means at night, at this specific moment, something was continuing. And that is, I was watching a horror movie. It was happening, it was going on at that moment. At which moment? At night. Next example, I was sleeping at 5 in the evening. इसका मतलब देखिए यहाँ पर ये आपको नहीं देखना है कि ये एक्शन कब स्टार्ट हुआ, कब तक हुआ, ये मैटर नहीं करता है. मैटर ये करता है कि 5 बजे ये एक्शन कंटिन्यू कर रहा था. एट दिस मोमेंट एक्शन कंटिन्यू कर रहा था. For negative sentences you have to do only one thing, and that is you have to use not after your first helping verb, and they are was or were. You're going to use not after was and were. For interrogative sentences you have to do one thing, and that is you have to bring your first helping verb outside. यानी जो was और were है वो आपको आपके subject से पहले लिखने होंगे. Now let's move to past perfect tense. We use this tense for the actions that had happened in past. यानी हम ये tense उन actions के लिए use करते हैं जो past के अंदर ही फिनिश भी हो चुके हैं, यानी जो एक्शंस कंप्लीट भी हो चुके हैं. एंड वी मेक पास्ट परफेक्ट टेंस विद अ सब्जेक्ट प्लस हैड एंड प्लस थर्ड फॉर्म ऑफ द वर्ब. फॉर एग्जांपल, मिस्टर कुमार हैड मैरिड हर व्हेन आई वाज इन 10th स्टैंडर्ड. इट मींस कि जब मैं 10th स्टैंडर्ड में था पास्ट के अंदर, तब ये एक्शन कंप्लीट हो चुका था, यानी वो शादी कर चुके थे. कर नहीं रहे थे, की नहीं है, कर चुके थे. 10th में जब मैं था तो वो एक्शन अपना कंप्लीट कर चुके थे, हो चुकी थी तब शादी. नेक्स्ट एग्जांपल्स, आई हैड रिटन एंड दे हैड स्पोकन देयर स्पीच. In both of these sentences, the action of writing and the action of speaking had completed. यानी लिखने का जो एक्शन है और स्पीच को बोलने का जो एक्शन है वो पास्ट में ही कंप्लीट हो चुका था. फॉर नेगेटिव सेंटेंसेस यू हैव टू राइट नॉट आफ्टर द फर्स्ट हेल्पिंग वर्ब एंड दैट इज had. For example, I had not walked. For interrogative sentences you have to do only one thing, and that is bring your first helping verb outside, and that is had. Let's now talk about past perfect continuous tense, and we use this tense for the actions that started in the past and were continuing to a point of time in past. We make past perfect continuous tense with the subject plus had, been plus V1 plus ing and plus since or for. For example, she had been standing outside for 3 hours. ये इसका मतलब ये है कि ये एक्शन पास्ट में स्टार्ट हुआ होना और 3 घंटे तक चला, यानी 3 घंटे तक इस एक्शन ने कंटिन्यू किया. नेक्स्ट एग्जांपल्स. They had been living in the USA since 2010. And my brother had been playing cricket for 20 minutes. Both of these actions were continuing in past that started at a particular point in past. For negative sentences you have to write not after had and before been. She had not been standing outside for 3 hours. And for interrogative sentences you have to bring your first helping verb outside, and it becomes had she been standing outside for 3 hours. Now let's take a quick recap of past tense. We use past simple for actions that happened in past, and we use past continuous tense for the actions that were continuing in past, and we use past perfect for the actions that had happened in past, and we use past perfect continuous tense for the actions that started in the past and were continuing to a point of time in past. And here's how you can practice past tense. All you have to do, take a present simple sentence. For example, I write a letter, and transform the sentence into all of the past tenses, and it goes like I wrote a letter, I was writing a letter, I had written a letter, I had been writing a letter since morning. You can speed up your sentences like I wrote a letter, I was writing a letter, I had written a letter, I had been writing a letter since morning. Now let's practice present and past both at the same time. Let's take a sentence. She speaks English. She speaks English. She is speaking English. She has spoken English. She has been speaking English for 2 years. She spoke English. She was speaking English. She had spoken English. She had been speaking English for 20 minutes. Practicing like this can help you remember the structures of the tenses and enables you to speak without pauses. And here we come to the end of this video. Watch out the third part of this video of future tense, which we shall publish shortly. We hope you liked the video, and if you did, please do press the like button and don't forget to subscribe us for more English grammar videos.